What's going on, y'all? We have another reaction video. Got the Jordan Love Experiment is a show. I ain't gonna lie, like the first two games of the season, they're looking pretty decent, showing some potential, looking real good, and then just has not been very consistent at all. Has not been very explosive, exciting. Looked like a team with a lot of potential on the offensive side of the ball. Just have not really been that. Been pretty stale. Haven't really found rhythm with Aaron Jones yet. Haven't found rhythm with Christian Watson yet. It's just like, it's not really, you don't really know what to expect with this offense as of right now. But shout out to Alex Rawlins. Let's get to it.
The Jordan Love experiment has gotten off to a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad beginning.
About the QB from yesterday.
After 3 years of sitting on the bench practicing, waiting, learning, the
right,
Packers have given him this one chance, this one singular season to see if he would be the guy to man Titletown following the Bart Starrs, the Favres, the Aaron Rodgers iconic legacy. But so far, it's been a complete and utter disaster. Today, we'll dive into the film to break down the situation into two different categories: how Love's struggles are his fault, why he's completing the league's lowest percentage of passes at just 57, and then the more surprising one, how Matt LaFleur's scheme has completely destroyed any chance of the Packers' offensive success. Starting with Love, his
What's crazy though, LaFleur's scheme been pretty good the past few years, if I'm not mistaken. Who was the coach? Who was the coach that went to the Jets? The offensive coordinator, or was the offensive coordinator or the quarterback coach that's there with Aaron Rodgers, and he used to be on the Packers?
Team on the whole lacks an identity. He has the second highest average depth of the target and the fifth highest rate of throws of 20+ yards. So he loves to attack deep, but has absolute miserable numbers when he does. His accuracy is putrid, he looks uncomfortable. Yes, he has a big arm, but he's spraying balls repeatedly and is struggling to connect. He's much more comfortable on quicker plays where he can stick on his first read, wind up, and throw. But when he has to get to his second, third, fourth read is where we really see his inexperience and overall inadequacies come into play. On 3rd and 3, the Raiders are disguising their Tampa 2 zone coverage and are dropping an extra defender, so they're just rushing 3. The Packers have Romeo Doubs come open on this Tampa beater over the middle, but because it's later into the progression, Love struggles to stay calm in the pocket and hit him when he's open. First, the Packers bust this stick concept. Both receivers run to the same spot. To me, Luke Musgrave should be running the stick route, which would break outside of Robert Spillane, so Love would have his first read open. But when Musgrave blows the assignment, this is where he gets into real trouble. In Tampa 2 zone, there's a linebacker that guards the area between the two deep safeties, and the Packers' dagger concept is the perfect call to defeat it. There's a clear-out seam up the middle that the Mike backer typically carries to guard the gaping open space deep, and then a dig route which runs into that vacated space. The backside dig route against Tampa 2 zone is the route that beats it. Especially with just 3 defenders rushing, it's crucial the quarterback stays patient, keeps a good base with his footwork, and waits till the money comes open. But Love is not that type of quarterback, even in year 4, and a big part of that is
where do you throw it here?
fundamentals.
Like, literally, nobody is open. I get it wasn't a good choice. You could say Dobbs is open, but not really. This guy could easily drop back and jump that. Give him a good 2-3 yards. Maybe if the accuracy was perfect, or he can go through his reads, check it down right here, but maybe check downs. That's it. But
even in year,
not really a big gain open anywhere. Let me go back to the start of it.
defenders rushing, it's crucial the quarterback stays patient, keeps a good base with his footwork, and waits till the money comes open. But Love is not that type of quarterback, even in year 4, and a big part of that is his fundamentals. It's surprising, since he's had so much time to practice, develop. Sure, you need to actually play, but regardless, after 4 years with an NFL team, your mechanics should be on lock. You can see him look to his left, he's comfortable, ready to throw, but when he comes back to dagger, look how his eyes are coming back over the middle before his feet. Those two have to be tied together in absolute lockstep, since you need to be ready to throw at the exact right millisecond
He got talent.
at any point in the down.
That's for sure.
He's also hopping into the air, which similarly doesn't give him the ability to throw the exact moment he needs to. It makes him late. He takes like 2 hops and a step. He's not throwing when he needs to, and that's going to mess up your vision. Jumping into the air moves your eyes up and down, so it's harder to see down the field. And if you're not settled in the pocket with your feet, you're not going to be settled in getting through your progressions and getting the ball where it needs to go. Even on heavily schemed plays where LaFleur holds his hand and dictates exactly which receiver to target, his downfield accuracy is bad, and his decision-making can be inconsistent too. This is a classic man-beater play where the Packers create a pick with Christian Watson to spring Jayden Reed. It's a great play against man coverage because it forces a defender to have to work around a pick that is really hard to avoid, and gives the QB at least one throw he can complete.
The defender played that well.
He can decipher which type of throw that is.
If he could have thrown it a little earlier.
The defender is Pat Surtain and how he handles the pick.
Surtain played it really well. If Love would have threw it a little earlier and gave Reed like a back shoulder opportunity, that probably could have been a completion, but anything after that, Surtain closed the gap.
If he runs under Watson to follow Reed, he'll trail him, and Love should loft it over Reed's shoulder since there's space over the top. But if Surtain goes over Watson like he does, now Love has to throw this back shoulder since Surtain is tighter in coverage, but now has his back turned. Instead, he throws it like front shoulder and kind of lofts it. So the decision on how to throw it was bad. The accuracy on that decision was bad. These are errors that no NFL quarterback can make. It's led to LaFleur not trusting him to make routine plays, so Matty laughs is babysitting the offense. But he's also not absolved of Love's poor play. Before we dive deeper into that, though, I first need to shout and pick play and players very poor from the Bronx. It's easy to get promo codes. Number because of the limitation are several up to $100. That's promo code Rollins. There are several issues with the way LaFleur has designed this offense. Some are because of the limitations he has built into his system since he doesn't trust his quarterback, and others are nobody's fault but his own because some of his offense is inherently flawed. First, let's talk the training wheels he's put on his young QB. A good example is the amount of screens he calls. Just like last week's episode with Sean and Russ, he does this to take the ball out of his hands without actually technically doing it. But LaFleur also takes it even a step further by adding screens into normal passing concepts on the backside. As I said, Love is pretty solid when targeting his first read, but atrocious when he comes back to his second. So LaFleur puts a backside screen option into the play, which is something I have never seen any other team do on.
Not a bad security blanket, but it's not conducive to driving the ball down the field because some plays you need a guy to be a decoy to open up something down the field. So I feel like if this is accurate, they're doing a bad job of like oversimplifying the offense
on film. Creating an offense to always target just the first read won't get you where you're trying to go. It's just not sustainable. Defenses are way too good. And the few concepts Love has run well in the past just don't continue to work since defenses are always adjusting. In week 4 against the Lions, they run drift, which is a concept he runs well. It was his biggest play last year when Rodgers went down against the Eagles, and he can hit it in stride consistently. It can be tricky on the quarterback because he has to really trust the call. When he turns around, he's coached to throw right at the top of his drop so he can punish the linebackers for sucking up towards the line for what they think is a run. So if he pauses, it gives them time to sink back into the window. It's much more of a trusted throw where you have to trust the window is there.
I feel like they just played this play, but
back into the window.
It's just so weird.
It's much more.
See, this is not bad, but they need Christian Watson to break sooner because everybody bit on the everybody in the front seven pretty much bit on the play action.
Or a trusted throw.
That ball came out a little late too.
It gives them time to sink back into the window. It's much more of a.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They need to be way more quick here.
trusted throw, where you have to trust the window is there since you're not reading it out as much as other concepts. You're throwing it blind to a degree, but you also have to know when it's not there, then progress to your second read. Offenses always add a backside read to drift in case it's not open frontside. So when Tracy Walker completely ignores his deep middle post responsibility and sits underneath for drift, Love should come back to Dobbs outside, even though, like I said, drift is difficult to read out compared to other concepts. Still, LaFleur wanted to believe in Love. I sure did, until my 19th divorce. So the next week he made some tweaks to punish how defenses were playing them, but it didn't work. In case the Raiders are also ready for drift with their safety nailing down, he puts Christian Watson on a post to attack that deep middle area. He also puts Love in shotgun so that he doesn't have to turn his back to the defense. But when Spillane isn't fooled at all and knows drift is coming, and the Raiders play too high so they can handle the post, Love doesn't execute, the concept doesn't help him execute, LaFleur doesn't put him in a good...
It's like he didn't really go through the reads. I mean, I don't know. Let me see if he looked at the flat.
Love doesn't knows drift is coming, fence. But when Spillane isn't fooled at all and knows drift is coming, and the Raiders play too high
like
so
he's
they
just
can handle
hoping
the post,
that
Love
Dobbs
doesn't
is open.
execute, the concept doesn't help him execute, LaFleur doesn't put him in a good situation. His bread and butter are
for sure. For sure. LaFleur didn't put him in a good situation. That is partially play calling because you only giving him two legit options with the flare, and his first read is X guy, second guy is covered. It's really not much to do. They got pressure coming in, so you need to get the ball out. So it's just like definitely need to spread it out, have some more better concepts downfield. I don't know if it was Aaron Rodgers that was helping draw plays or what, but it's like definitely they are looking like a different offense. And I don't know if this was going on when A-Rod was there, but
play action concepts over the middle. But as defenses have shifted into playing more two-high coverages, LaFleur is stuck trying to attack one high, which is hindering his offense. When Love sees one high safety before the snap, he checks the play like he's coached to. Now the Packers have this one high play action beater. It's super challenging for defenses to defend crossers against one high because if the safety cuts the crosser, it leaves the middle of the field open. But since the NFL is a two-high league, and the Lions know what LaFleur is going to do because he's predictable, they show him one high to get him to check the play. They then roll into two high and completely shut it down.
That's tough. I don't like this, man. Just these concepts with just two receivers running routes. Like, what's going on? Now, I mean, I get it. You know, you got a lot of pressure, but it's like, why have two receivers running deep routes at that? You need somebody to come down. Like, I don't know, like a high-low. Need a high-low concept if you're going to do that. Can't be both of them going deep. Josh Dobbs will start next Sunday.
When he has tried innovating, it's been a disaster. I don't know if you can call copying Mike McDaniel innovating, but he's at least trying to follow a new trend where he uses the cheat motion the Dolphins have been using with Tyreek Hill. However, he uses it with a goddamn tight end. Really? This motion is designed to take speed and make speed faster. So like when Tyreek is using it, he already has a head start at full speed and he can run deep, he can run underneath, intermediate, across. You have no idea, and it's impossible for the league to figure out. But you use goddamn Luke Musgrave?
Bro, I remember during training camp, they were saying Luke Musgrave looked like he's the fastest player on the team or something like that. I don't know where I seen that from, but I for sure saw a report saying that Luke Musgrave looks extremely fast, looks like the fastest player on offense. And I'm like, I remember Luke running 4.4, and they boosted him up.
Who's slower than how Chris Olave sees other drivers? Nobody thinks a tight end is going to beat you deep, so it limits what Musgrave can do with the motion, and when LaFleur makes it the first read in the progression and it doesn't work, Love is dead. The coaching points and attention to detail just overall have been really bad. When running backs see unblocked blitzers, they need to abort the play fake, but Dillon keeps coming, then steps on Love's foot, then he gets sacked. Or when they're pulling a guard on counter, you want the puller aligned really tight to the center because he has to block the defensive tackle. Well, LaFleur makes the guard have the widest split of anybody on the line, and the D tackle, of course, blows up the play. Jordan Love has gotten off to a horrible start in what could be his only year getting a real chance in Green Bay, In fact, a real chance anywhere, and things aren't looking up anytime soon. He continues to struggle in the pocket, sails balls deep instead of hitting his open third or fourth receiver. His fundamentals are regressing by the minute. He looks uncomfortable, so Matt LaFleur doesn't trust him, but he's also failing to design a legitimate offense. The Packers have a long, storied career of elite quarterback play, but the man in that position now and the man behind that man don't seem like they can live up to that standard. Things need to change, and change quick, because if they don't, everybody could be out of a job in Titletown, Wisconsin.
I'll be forgetting in Wisconsin. Good vid. A lot of interesting things there in this video. Play calling. It seems like it's not all Love fault. It seems like it's a lot more on coaching. That's what it seems like, but we'll see. I'm curious. Like this, it's the same coach that was there when Aaron Rodgers was there. So I wonder if he like limited the playbook to simplify it for Love or what. But and then Aaron Rodgers was there and Devontae Adams was there, so it is a little different. But still, it's a big steal in my opinion. But y'all hit the like button, subscribe, stay tuned, stay blessed.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Ain't no need to play games. I'm cool with zeros on the stat sheet. I don't care if you knew Patrick Mahomes. Them lies you telling won't get past me. If it's meant to be, I'm not gonna ask for a second chance. I'm only gonna ask you once after that, then it's out my hands. I'm not gonna question, just accept it, part of God's plan.